Hello and welcome. As an expert in hotel AI, I'm honored to welcome all students of Europe Hotel School to this online learning journey. Today, we're going to explore a critical aspect of modern operations, protecting your team. Because in the world of luxury hospitality, what if the biggest dangers are the ones you can't even see? We'll be pulling back the curtain on these invisible threats and exploring how AI is becoming the new standard for keeping your people safe. All right, so let's dive right in. Let's talk about the invisible dangers within hospitality. You see, a manager's responsibility goes so much deeper than just guest satisfaction. It's about protecting the team from risks that are quite literally in the air they breathe. And this statement right here, it really hits the nail on the head. It highlights a fundamental truth. The real hazards for staff aren't in those polished, public-facing hallways. They're hidden away in the engine rooms of the hotel, where the conditions can be unpredictable and, frankly, dangerous. I mean, think about it, right? Every space a guest sees, the lobby, the spa, the restaurants, it's all meticulously designed for comfort and appeal. But the moment you step behind that curtain into the back of house, you're in a completely different world. It's a functional, industrial environment, and that comes with industrial-level hazards. Let's take the laundry room, for example. You've got industrial-strength detergents and intense heat creating chemical vapors all day, every day. Or what about the pool's mechanical room or a maintenance workshop in the basement? These are absolute hotspots for chemical and even biological threats that you'd never dream of finding up in a guest suite. For the longest time, the approach to these risks has been completely reactive. We've relied on these localized, kind of dumb sensors. And the huge problem with them is that they only sound the alarm after a disaster has already started. Just waiting for a red light to start flashing isn't just outdated, it's dangerous. So the big question is, how do we get ahead of the danger? How do we stop it before it even begins? Well, this is where the AI solution comes into play. We are now in an era where technology can proactively find and neutralize these invisible threats before they can cause any harm. A fantastic example of this tech is a platform called Airthinx. The best way to think of it is like a high-definition camera, but for the air. Its entire purpose is to see the invisible, chemical fumes, airborne pathogens, long before they become a real danger to your staff. So how does this actually work? It's a simple but brilliant four-step process. First, sensors are continuously monitoring the air 24/7. Second, the AI learns what's normal for that specific room, creating a unique baseline. Third, and this is the crucial part, it watches for any deviation from that baseline, what it calls a chemical signature, which could signal a leak. And finally, if it spots one, boom, an instant biohazard alert is sent out. Okay, so that's the theory, but let's look at how this plays out in a real-world scenario. A scenario where this system can be a literal lifesaver. And believe me, the stakes could not be higher. We are talking about the difference between a small, manageable problem and a full-blown emergency. The entire goal is to catch that tiny leak before it has a chance to become a catastrophe. Let's paint a picture. Deep in the hotel's basement, in the pool pump room, a tiny seal on a chlorine tank starts to fail. It's not a big explosion. It's just a slow, silent, invisible leak. A person wouldn't be able to smell it until the air was already toxic. But the AI spots it instantly. The moment it detects that tiny spike in chlorine particles, it sends out a biohazard alert straight to the phones of the engineering and security teams. This allows them to evacuate the area and fix the leak immediately, stopping the danger right in its tracks. But this technology isn't just about chemical leaks. It also protects against other invisible threats, like airborne pathogens and mold, creating what you can really think of as a dynamic shield for employees. Think about those damp, humid places in a hotel, like basements or spa locker rooms. They are the perfect breeding grounds for things like mold or even dangerous bacteria like Legionella. And for the staff working in those areas, it's a very serious health risk. To handle this, the AI looks beyond just chemicals. It constantly analyzes the combination of temperature, humidity, and airflow to calculate what's called a biorisk score. Really, it's just a number that tells you how likely it is for mold or germs to start growing in that room at that very moment. So when that score starts to climb, maybe to an 8.5 out of 10, like you see here, it's a massive red flag for management. It means the conditions are perfect for harmful stuff to grow. All of a sudden, an invisible risk becomes a clear, actionable number. And this is where it gets really smart. The system doesn't just warn you, it can act on its own. If that biorisk score gets too high, the AI can automatically tell the building's ventilation system to pump in more fresh air. It actively changes the environment to stop pathogens from growing. That is the dynamic shield in action. So, what is the big takeaway here for anyone managing a hotel or planning to? It's all about a fundamental shift in how we think about our duty of care to our employees. With this kind of technology, a hotel's approach to safety is completely transformed. It stops being a passive, check-the-box compliance task and becomes an active, intelligent system that is constantly working to save lives. And that really is the bottom line. A manager's duty of care extends to the very air their team breathes. And now, technology gives us the power to make sure that air isn't just assumed to be safe, but is actively monitored and proven to be safe. So I'll leave you with this question to carry with you into your careers. As a future leader, how will you protect your team from the threats that you can't see? Because true hospitality isn't just about the guest experience. It's about using technology to guard the well-being of the people who make it all possible. Thank you.